Good morning. Good morning, everyone out in YouTube land and Stock Twits. This is Bag of Dawn at Stock Market Caddy. Today is July 5th. It's a Friday. It's at 9:16, and I hope if you're hearing this, wherever you be, I hope you had a wonderful 4th of July fireworks display and fun last night, and the weekend is still ongoing. But yet the market has slipped in here. And what's happening? Well, you can see the market is selling off. And let me just take a moment. This is not what we do day in and day out in terms of monitoring the story of the day, the narrative of the day or week. We just consider that just noise and distractions. And really, for that matter, that includes the Federal Reserve. Folks, economics was not even a major in colleges before 1940. Economics to us is not a science. Economics, they want it to be a science. They would have you believe it's a science. They would have you believe that it's more complicated than particle physics. But it's a junk science. It just is. It's a joke. So for the past few weeks here, the market has run up, basically on money speculation that the Federal Reserve was going to cut rates in July. Now, the Federal Reserve may have felt pushed by that by political forces and this and that, and that's why I say it's a junk science. The Fed would have you believe that they're making steps based on economic numbers and that they're apolitical and all of this nonsense. So last time they basically held, they didn't increase rates, and they were dovish. That's a real scientific term for you. We're dovish. So he wanted to see what came of the meetings between Trump and Xi, and there were a couple of other things going on that he kind of wanted to get a look at. And now that we got past all of that, out comes the jobs number. Now, for the past 2 months, the jobs numbers haven't been very good, and the jobs number is, for this pseudoscience, supposedly one of the big numbers that that they need to be aware of. And but the Fed also doesn't want to react on any one number, so they like to look at it in slow, methodical terms of a trend. And sure enough, just like magic, the jobs number comes in strong this morning, keeping the overall trend, making up for the weakness of the last 2 months, and keeping the overall trend in line so that the Fed can do what? Do nothing. Do nothing. The longer the Fed can do nothing, the more successful they think they are. So when the Fed did nothing, or when the jobs number comes out in the Fed, what does Swing Machine? Now, Swing Machine is pretty dumb because Swing Machine doesn't know any of that narrative bullshit, okay? And I only know of it as a sideshow, but it's not how we trade or do anything day in and day out. But when everyone reacted as they do to whatever the story or the noise of the day, asset classes begin to move. So the dollar, as Swing Machine, you can tell, went long. And it did so, you can see the time, 8:31, 1 a.m., and you can see how much money you're up. When the dollar went long, as strong as it did, almost half a penny, that put gold short. So just, 8:31, you could have made $1,000 short gold. 7:40 a.m., somebody probably had the scientific jobs number, which is all bullshit anyways. That's just made up. But they probably had it early, so, there's $2,000 there. But, Swing Machine got it. Then it impacts oil a little bit, and of course the overall markets. And so you can see, look on the 1 minute, 8:33, you're up 3 1/4, 8:31, you're up 600, 8 o'clock, you're up 315, 8:33, you're up 235. So, to be a trader day in and day out, do you need to have an economics degree? Shit, no. You'd be better off you don't. Do you need to understand the noise and the narrative of the day? No. You'd be better off that you don't. Because if on Wednesday you heard a presentation about how, the Fed's going to cut and the 100% surety is going to cut in July, and you committed big sums of money to gold, well, then now you're getting your ass handed to you. So you don't need an economics degree. You don't need to listen to CNBC. You really don't need a subscription to the IBD. You don't need, it has squat to do with the economy. The jobs number came in at what it came in at, I don't know, 230, 240. Do you really believe that the government can tell us how many jobs were created in a month? They don't even know how many people are in here, in this country. So, I just reject all of it. The economic pseudoscience, I reject the narratives, and I reject the economic data that comes with it. Why would I pay any attention to the economic data if the science is a junk science? And we try to stay at very small increments of time. The reason being is time in space, to a particle physicist, which I'm not, but which is a real science, is distorted. Time and space is distorted. And so if you are following time charts, and you are following them on larger time frames, daily, weekly, monthly, then the distortion fields are even greater. The real money is made on very small increments, which is where we're at with Swing Machine, and then we utilize price charts versus time charts. Don't use time. So, in any case, I say good morning. I hope you had a nice 4th. There's nothing new here to us. We follow the money flow. I've said it before. I'm the dumbest guy in the room. I don't want to get bogged down into these economic, bullshit sessions. That's left for the academics, the talking heads, these guys, if they had to trade day in and day out one asset for another asset, for another asset, for another asset, let's face it, that's what you're doing, right? To capture profit, to maintain their wealth, grow their wealth, they couldn't do it. They wouldn't know where to begin. If you like this approach to the market, if at some level it resonates with you, and I'm not challenging your belief system, you can believe what you want to believe. But if it resonates with you and you need a mentor and you need someone who's been there, done that. Now, we didn't develop this in the last 2 years, not the last 5, not in the last 10, not in the last 15. This is like 20 years ago. And I started in 1980. I'm an older guy. I've been through IBD, been through VectorVest, been through stock trust, been through all that stuff, seen all kinds of bubbles come and go. Seen the crash of 94 and the TIBOT in 97 and the bubble in 2000 and the crash in '08. So this is not our first rodeo by any means. And but we have prepared our trading platform and our trading style and our systems. My background is in teaching surgeons how to do surgery, and we've created these systems to be surgically precise. Let's put it that way. To something that is very imprecise, right? Up 1 minute, down the next. But that's the way we've approached it. And we're happy to share that with you, share the approach, share the signals. And if you want to try to build your own, we can, certainly be a resource there. You're welcome to call. I'm happy to show you what we call on a hall pass. If you have a half hour or an hour, we'll link you up and show you what we're doing on any given day. and answer your questions. My name is Don Marshall. My phone is 813-758-8263. I wish everyone the best, and the market goes on. Thanks.